Hi, I'm Brian Maxwell, the owner and founder of Sales Professionals of America Recruiting. And right now, in today's automotive industry, dealerships have become extremely competitive when it comes to earning the business of today's customers. So what I want to do, I'm going to share 7 tips, 7 things that you can do or your sales team can do at the dealership right now to be able to close more sales, hold more growth, and significantly enhance your CSI scores with those surveys and evaluations that are being given out to guests after they leave the dealership. Number 1, whether you're new to this business or you've been doing it for a long time, the number 1 thing that I suggest is that you be 100% committed for at least 90 days. If you're new to this business, I watch new people come into it, and before they even get their feet wet, they're already submitting resumes looking for the next opportunity, for the next job. When in truth, those that really stick with this business and do it the right way, they make more money than 95% of the people out there working your typical 9-to-5 jobs. But most never ever give it a chance. At the end of the day, very few people that are selling in this business, in the automotive industry, ever dreamed of doing it when they were kids. It was just one of those things that through different decisions and life's pitfalls or successes, what have you, we end up here. And then there's those who really see the opportunity and take it serious, because you get out of this what you put into it. So I challenge you to commit yourself for 90 days where you do everything you can. If there's any sales training material laying around the dealership, you grab it, you read it, you watch it, you listen to it. If there's any information or ways for you to enhance your product knowledge, you take advantage of it. You can do that by going online. You can do that by grabbing a team member and just going through the vehicle, asking them if they have product knowledge, talking to mechanics, or whenever you have time, you're not with a guest or with a customer, go sit in the vehicle, familiar yourself with it, but commit yourself to it. Give yourself 90 days. Go on the 90-day challenge to just see just how good you can be before you call it quits and jump ship or go do something else, because I assure you, you may regret it. Number 2, know this, that 88% of the people that are looking to buy vehicles go online before they go to a dealership, which means that when they start their physical buying process, where they're going out, stopping at stores, they know where it's located, they know what the features are, they even know what colors may be available. Okay, so when they come into your dealership, they have a good idea of what it is that they're looking for. And today's consumers, according to the Consumer Journal, stop at 1.5 dealerships before they make a buying decision. Okay, so whether you're the first dealership or the second dealership is totally irrelevant, because both of those, with the average is less than 2 before they make a decision, which means they spend half the time at one than they spend at the other one before they make a buying decision, which means that we have a very small margin for error when we get that opportunity to get that guest in our dealership. And it's all about the experience. It is all about how they feel about that sales consultant. It's all about how, do they feel like we genuinely want to help them make a buying decision, or are we just trying to sell them something and take their money? Okay? At the end of the day, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Now, when people come into the dealership, 9 out of 10 of them believe that the days of having to sit there and go back and forth and negotiate and watch the sales consultant running back and forth in the management office, they believe that that's the way business is still conducted. And in reality, it's just not. So as the sales consultant, you have to do what you can to educate this person on the way that the business has changed. But how do you do that? You have to earn their trust first. And trust begins right from the greeting. When they look at you, you have a small window where they're judging you. The expression on your face. And when you're approaching somebody to greet them, are you smiling? Are you looking pleasant? Are you looking like somebody pissed in your cereal that morning? When you approach them, are you welcoming them to your dealership, extending your hand for a handshake, giving them your name to get theirs, and then thanking them for coming to your dealership? Because they could have went to any dealership in the city, but they came to yours. See, these are little things that are lost upon a lot of sales consultants today. I watch sales consultants go out and ask customers 2 of the stupidest questions. Can I help you, and how you doing? Number 1, you were hired to help this person. So to ask them, can I do what I was hired to do, is silly. And then number 2, sales is all about keeping this person as positive minded as possible, feeling and being in a really good space. So when you ask somebody how you're doing, you're forcing them to take a mental trip backwards and go through experiences that you have no idea what they were. They might have gotten into an argument with their spouse that morning. They might have gotten a ticket that morning. They might have woke up late. They might have stubbed their toe. Might have been a number of different things. Just welcome them. Greet them with a smile. Welcome them, giving them your name, getting their name, and then thanking them for coming in. Now, Your primary objective, if you greet them on the lot, is to get them inside to the showroom to sit down and speak with them. And if you greet them on the showroom, is to get them to sit down and speak with you, okay? Now, this is done, again, by all in the way we approach. Now, once you get them to sit and speak, this is your opportunity to educate them on the way business is done differently. And you can do that a number of ways, depending on how your dealership trains you and wants you to interact with people. But some great questions to ask a person when you sit down is, hey, listen, Rick, Jane, let me ask you, when was the last time you all bought a vehicle? They may say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And let me ask you, when you went through that experience, how did you feel about having to negotiate back and forth with that sales consultant? They come out with a high number, you volley back a lower number. They throw back another number, and you come back again. In the meantime, they're running back and forth into the sales manager's office to come back with new numbers, and then they come out. How did that experience make you feel? Did you enjoy that? 9 out of 10 people are going to say no. As a matter of fact, the car 2016 June edition of the Car Journal said that over 50%, over 56%, over half of customers that were in dealerships said the part that they hated was the negotiation and the length of time that it took for them to be there. Okay? So you want to educate them that the game has changed. Well, listen, you folks will be happy to know that since the last time you bought a vehicle, a lot has changed. And it was forced to change by people like you. The automotive industry has been able to upset millions of consumers. And we've rectified that now. So what we've done is that no longer do you have to come in and worry about having to negotiate back and forth with the sales consultant and watch me running back and forth to the management office. Because what we've done, we've discounted all the prices for you. That way, you can focus more on choosing the right vehicle as opposed to negotiating back and forth. Now, understand this. Remember, they found you online. And the fact that they're sitting in your dealership means that your price was either competitive or better than everyone else online. So inform them that just that alone, in order to get them to come in, we had to discount the vehicle just to be competitive to get them into the store. Because if we were the highest, they wouldn't have come in. And just, by pointing these things out, because most consumers don't know. They have no idea that this is what's going on. Now, there's a reason why you're planting this seed, and I'll show you where it bears its fruit a little bit later on. Now, number 3. Once you've educated them and now it's time to start asking questions and doing some fact-finding and building rapport, make sure you stay on task. Too many sales consultants start talking about things that make no difference to what's going on here. When you're asking questions, the goal is to be moving the guest down the process to get them closer to making that smart, safe buying decision. Anything, a discussion or conversation that you create, that you bring up, that takes them away from that, does you no good. When sales consultants sit down and want to talk religion with customers, that is a horrible thing because people go to their place of worship for salvation. When sales consultants sit down and want to talk politics with a guest, no good because they go to the ballot box or watch CNN and Fox for their political opinions. They come to your dealership because they're looking for a vehicle. They're looking for a vehicle and they want to make a smart, safe buying decision on one. And you are the expert and that is our only responsibility. So stay on task. Ask relevant questions and listen with the intent to understand versus listening with the intent to reply. So when you ask a question, listen to what they say and then confirm that what you believe their intentions are or the problem is or what they're looking for. Once you believe you have an idea, confirm it with them by asking them just to make sure you understand. Well, listen, John and Donna, if I understand you correctly, and I believe that I do, seeing as you all are having a baby and based on what you told me, you're looking for something that has more space and is more fuel efficient. Is that right? Right. Confirm it with them. Because I'll tell you, you can spend a whole lot of time talking to somebody about the wrong vehicle, and that's a waste. And let's face it, no matter what the features are, no matter how much it costs, there's no such thing as a good deal on the wrong vehicle. So, stay on task. Number 4. Now that we've identified the vehicle we find out what they're looking for, we have a vehicle in mind, now it's time for us to take them out and show it to them. Okay, now this is your opportunity to really earn your money. This is where you're doing your walk around. Now while you're doing your walk around, this is your opportunity to really present the features, the benefits, the advantages of having in a very high level way. This is where the value is built. And it could be something as simple as the dipstick on the vehicle being elevated and moved closer to the front of the vehicle. No matter what it is, when you talk about it in an exciting and a very beneficial way, in a way that benefits them based on a scenario that they told you. You may have seen this and done this 1,000 times, maybe even 2,000. But for this person, this is the very first time that they get an opportunity to do this with you. Okay? So this is where your money is really made. Because price will always be on the table with people. Okay? But the greater the value that you build, price can become a little bit less significant. But if the entire sales process sucks, and every place they've been at, all the sales consultants and all the service sucks, now it comes down to price. And you know who loses? You as the sales consultant and your dealership. And then many times the consumer. Because in order to get that discounted price, that low price they want, they're losing out and missing out on tons of things that will help them maintain the value of that vehicle. Okay, so make sure that you really take the opportunity when you're doing that walk around to really do it. Don't just breeze through it. These are side mirrors, this is the driver's side door, and that's that. No. Take the time to really educate them. Hey, well, these are the turn signal lights right here on the side mirrors. And what these do is they're just an additional precautionary tool. So if you're going to switch lanes from the right to the left, they notify the drivers to the right and to the left that you're going to be merging to avoid any accidents. And that way, you're making an investment in the vehicle this nice. You want to keep it looking good as long as you can, don't you? Just things like that. Talking to them about it, okay? Now, number 5, learn to educate rather than negotiate price. Now, when I say educate rather than negotiate, okay, when you, remember you spoke to the person about how the prices are discounted out the gate and all of this stuff, but when you come and you present the numbers, no matter how friendly you all were, their defenses are going to go up and they're going to revert back to what it is they've always been taught. They believe that now it's time to negotiate. They don't know that it's already been discounted. But this is where you get an opportunity to educate them on, when you drop that down and say, when you're going through the numbers, say, well, listen, I want a better price. Listen, you know what that means to me, John? It makes you a normal person. Okay. Remember earlier when we spoke and I shared with you that we discounted the prices already just to get you in here, even to be competitive. That way you wouldn't have to worry about going through that with me. That's what we've done for you. Now, if you want to sit here and talk with me, we can, because I think you're a really awesome guy. But as far as the need for us to negotiate back and forth, we've already discounted this as best as we possibly could to make sure I'll get the best option out here. Blah, blah, blah. Educating them and going through, rather than doing what most sales consultants do when a person says, I want a better price. Okay, wait a second, I'll go talk to my manager. Now you put the manager in a position to where he's got to work miracles just to try to get a deal done, and sometimes it could be an impossibility. Okay, so learn to educate. When you're going through the price, the monthly payment options, educate a person. 9 out of 10 sales consultants are scared to put 36 months on the table because they believe the person's going to leave. But if you're really focused on helping this person out, giving them the best option, 36 months is always the best. Why? Because it's a shorter term. They avoid finance charges. They can pay it off quicker. They build equity in the vehicle much faster, which means they have a free and clear title that they can sell, they can trade, or they can do whatever they want to do with it. That is the most beneficial.